Hey there, fellow marketers, Professor Wolters here, and today we're on the Shetland Islands in northern Scotland. And today we're going to talk about are the factors that influence the acceptance of innovations in an industry. Because there's some certain factors out there that we really have to think about and help us understand how quickly will our innovations be accepted, or are there some big issues we're going to have in getting people to buy in to our new products, our new ideas, our new innovations. And the first factor that I want to talk about is the relative advantage. If the new product has a definite relative advantage over the previous product, it's more likely that an innovation is going to succeed. If you're making leaps and bounds changes, like if you're going from flip phone technology to smartphone technology, man, that is a much better phone. There's so much more I get out of it. There's so much more I can do with it. So of course, it's a better chance that innovation is going to be accepted. I mean, look at what happened to Nokia. I mean, they went from number one to nothing in no time flat because the new smartphones were so much better, relatively speaking, than the phones that were already out there. Or if you want to go farther back, I remember when VHS tapes switched to DVDs, you're like, wow, the sound and the video is so much better on these DVDs than VHSs. That's just a better product, and you start seeing those things. So if you're making a better product, it has a relative advantage over something, it's doing it better, that better mousetrap is more likely going to sell than the previous product, okay? So better products, more likely it's going to get accepted. But the best product doesn't always win, so there's other factors we have to kind of think about. Another thing you want to think about is the compatibility of that innovation with the market you're selling. Well, here's the thing. I'm on the Shetland Islands. Do you notice there's no trees out there? Yeah, the only trees you see in the Shetland Islands are in people's gardens, okay? Trees don't really grow here. So if I'm an innovator in the treehouse industry. Well, here's a problem. Do treehouses really work? Are they compatible with the Shetland Islands? I mean, there's no trees to put a treehouse in, so no, that innovation's probably going to fail. So that's not going to work. So you have to think about that. Where we're going to release this innovation, where is it going to be the biggest bang for the buck? That's where you want to go because it's more likely to be accepted. If I go to Oregon or Washington where there's lots and lots of trees all around and forests everywhere, yeah, the treehouse revolution will do really well there because there's trees to put the tree houses in because that is a compatible thing. That's why some of the best flip-flops in the world, where are they from? They're Havaianas, which are from Brazil, which has got warm weather and you wear flip-flops a lot. It kind of works that way. So you got to think of that compatibility thing as well. Now, the third factor I want to talk about is observability. Can people actually see the difference? Okay, being a better product is nice, but if people can't see why you're a better product or how you're a better product, it doesn't really work. You want to make sure that, hey, if people can observe my product and that it is better or it works better, you want to make sure they can see that, okay? It's kind of like when you compare like a fast food burger, like a McDonald's cheeseburger to a steakhouse burger. Like you can look at the difference like, wait, McDonald's burger is this little tiny burger, but that steakhouse burger is so big and it's got bacon and like cheese that I can't even pronounce its name, and the bacon on there looks so crispy and delicious. Yes, I can see that it's a better burger than the McDonald's burger, so I'm more willing to buy it. I'm willing to, spend more money on those things. That's what you're looking at. So you want to make sure people can actually observe those differences, observe that innovation. So easier it is to see that innovation, the easier it is for it to be accepted. Now, the last factor I want to look at is kind of like two things put together. One is complexity, like how complex are these changes? How complex is the innovation in general? And also the trialability of this new product. So in terms of complexity, the more complex your new product is, this new innovation is, the less likely it's going to be accepted. Because think about it. Do you want to spend 10 hours learning how to turn on your new TV? No, I'm fine with what I have. I mean, I know every time I got to buy a new gaming system for my kids, I'm like, can we stick with the Nintendos? Because I know how those work, right? Because my kid wants to get an Xbox. I'm like, dude, I can't help you with that. All I know is about the Switch and the U and the Wii and the Nintendo 64 and the GameCube and Nintendo Entertainment System from back when I was a kid. I know those things. So I prefer something I understand. If it gets too complex, I'm not going to go for it. So you got to be careful. And the thing is, if you have a very complex innovation, you're going to have to spend a lot more money on selling that innovation, explaining to people why it's good. You might not see the difference in this new peanut butter that has half the calories as before, but with half the calories, eating 3 sandwiches a week of peanut butter and jelly like a good student does, you can save yourself 5 pounds over 1 year. And as a freshman in college, that's an important thing to know, right? And so you got to think about those things. So make sure you're putting that, if it's complex, put it in ways that people can understand it. That's why trialability kind of goes with it, because if you have a product that's easy to try out and experiment with, it's more likely people are going to buy it. They're going to accept that innovation. I remember way back in the day when the first Nintendo Wii's came out. You know, remember the bowling game you play with your grandma, or the tennis game you play with your parents when you were a kid? Yeah, those things, everybody can use them. It's so simple to use, right? So remember, it's not complex. But also, I remember companies were talking about how the Wii was the end of Nintendo because it was nowhere near as powerful as the latest PlayStation or the latest Xbox. The graphics are so simple. But the thing is, at that time, parents wanted their kids to get off the couch from playing video games. Hey, it gets people up and moving around. But what really made it work is when you'd walk into a Best Buy or a Saturn, if you're in Europe when I was living there, you'd walk in and they'd have a Wii right there. And you'd see grandmas bowling. You'd see kids bowling. You'd see people playing tennis. Like, wait, once you tried it, like, I got to play this game. I mean, the Wii has been, hasn't sold games for, 10 years now. And yet I still go home and visit my parents. They've got a Wii there, and we'll do Wii bowling with the kids. We all can play it together because it's so easy to do. It's so easy to try out. So it's easy to try out your products. More likely it's going to be accepted, right? Hint, hint, hint. This is why when you go to the grocery store, they give out the free samples. Hey, if you try this little free sample, you might actually buy it. And you're like, oh, that's actually pretty good. I'll take a bag of those meatballs. Those are pretty nice. Thank you. If you didn't try it out, you'd never buy those meatballs, right? So you got to think about those things. So I hope this helps you understand some of the factors that actually influence innovation in terms of how innovation is accepted in the marketplace. And you put that into your kind of strategies when you're starting to release new products and release new innovations, so it can help you get that innovation out there to be accepted sooner so you can have a successful business. So I hope this helps you know a little bit more about getting your new products out on the market. If you want to learn more, hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and we put out new business videos every week. Buy from the Shetland Islands, and you definitely should come here. If by chance you do and you want to get this is a quarter zip from the US, but if you want to get some actually Shetland designed wool stuff, actually Shetland designer, Wilma, super nice lady, designs all the stuff here. You can pick some stuff up when you're here. Really nice. Anyway, I'll talk to you later, and bye from the Shetland Islands.